Howdy, welcome back to Alchemy Academy. My name is Corndog Jones Jr., and I'm going for top 10 rank in Magic the Gathering Arena using exclusively homebrewed decks. Today we're going to be running a deck using the new Bloomburrow Alchemy Bats, Sanguine Soothsayer, and Darkstar Banisher. Sanguine Soothsayer is a 2-mana 2/1 lifelink black bat that has when this creature attacks, you conjure a Sanguine Bond at the top 15 cards of your library. That effect's alright until you read that the card now costs 0 mana and draws you a card upon entering. Pretty busted, right? Using this card alongside the early game removal from Darkstar Banisher and a life gain shell to boot, we should be able to grind out games and hopefully bust some mono redheads while we're at it. Playtested this deck a few times, and it has some really cool synergies and potential for high impact turns out of nowhere, so I'm excited to jump into it. As a reminder, I'll be streaming on Twitch and YouTube when this video premieres, so if you happen to catch it, stop by and say hi. The season just started, so we're grinding games in plat right now. Let's see how far we can climb. That came about, but anyways, we're back into the games. Start off with a 1-drop Runelurker Bat, pretty good to hit early on. Cindercone Smite is just really good against our start here. Maybe it's my guess is a heist deck, which in that case that's not great that we got hit by the Cindercone Smite. We can Zoraline whatever they take out. Sleight of hand. This is not what I thought it was. Storm Chaser's Talent. All right. Yeah, maybe I just exile this thing. Yeah, let's exile it. I don't want to play the Zoraline too early. Then we can get rid of it later, or replay it later with the Zoraline, because it's probably gonna die here, in all likelihood. Unless he has an exile effect, but I don't think that. Red will have too many of those, or red-blue. Alright. So we'll just swing in. Then I'm going to hold the Porcine Portent up. I'm worried about removal right now. Like a board wipe. He might have an ill-timed explosion. He's running the colors for it, so I might just chill. Because the Zoraline into the bat might be just a game-losing play here. Alright. I'm okay with that. He kills this. He gets an extra treasure. He loses that treasure, but we get to bring it back and kill the Storm Chaser's Talent. Or we can just Teysa, which is like probably a much stronger play. There we go. We can't bring the Teysa back if he kills it, but I don't think he's gonna have any instant speed stuff to kill it. Especially if he's running these Cindercone Smites. It's just like, just kind of a little bit limiting, but it has helped him a lot here. He's generated some extra value from it. If anyone doesn't know, it does 2 damage, sorcery speed, and it creates a treasure. So it's alright. I'd say it's pretty alright. What is the move here for our mans? He's gonna bring back the Smite. Looks like with the other one. I might have to bring back the Darkstar Banisher with the Zoraline and just snipe the new Storm Chaser's Talent. Because if he gets two or more of those going, then we're a little bit screwed. I will. Yeah, I think I might just do that. Let's attack first. he plays something to pump up this guy, then we just exile him. Yep, let's see. Alright. Bring back the Banisher. And I don't want him to get that Cinder Cone Smite back, so we kill that. And if he spends all his mana to bring this to level 6 next turn, then I think he's dead. Because we're going to have 2 4/4s, it's 11 damage, plus that 3, and then plus 2 is... He'll be pretty much dead. I predicted the ill-timed explosion. I kind of forgot about it, though. Unfortunately. So hopefully he doesn't have too much to do. So 3 damage. Yeah, he's got all of them. Alright. I'm assuming he only has 1 enchantment, so he can just seek up the next Storm Chaser's talent. So removal plus card draw plus Prof's Eidetic Memory. I was making this deck the other day. It seems pretty good. Alright. I think I cut the bullshit and just run out the Virtue. I think that might just be game. I don't know if Blue-Red has a way to deal with it. Maybe it's like a bounce spell. But he already has to deal with this Teysa, which is pretty much... It's pretty much enough, you know? If he can't deal with this, then it's enough to win on its own. But we definitely bring back Zoraline plus the Bat. Stormcatch Menor is good. He can storm off here and get a bunch of cool stuff going. Yep. He can swing in. We got 27 life. Only option here is Zoraline. I don't know if I pull that Bat out. It's just gonna die. Looks like he doesn't have any stick either. Oh, he does. Maybe he can kill the Zoraline. I'll pull the Bat out. Why not? And I think that I just pop this Stormcatch Menor's head before. Yeah, let's pop his head, and then I'm gonna play the second side next turn. I think that's the only play I really have. Does he have something? What is this? Target creature control gains hexproof. Becomes a copy of another target creature. So that's good to know because I was gonna say I shouldn't swing in with the Teysa. Return to permanence. Alright. That slows us down a bit, but that's not a big deal. Zoraline, do I play the Zoraline? I don't have anything to recur, and I already have one. Yeah, maybe it was dumb to keep the Zoraline on top. This guy's still intensity 4. The thing we have to watch out for is a counter spell. All right. He's trying to slow us down. I mean, that didn't affect the board state at all. He has no creatures in his graveyard. If anything, this is better as a removal spell right now, so. All right. Another ill-timed explosion. Storm Chaser's talent. We can Teysa plus Virtue. I think I might just Virtue the spawn of this guy. Oh, this is nice. So it looks like he might have some stick here. Like he might have some counter spells. So I'm just gonna play my other stuff first. He knows this is coming. I think I just wait. Let's see, do I just wait? Yeah, let's just wait. Maybe he didn't have a counter spell. Maybe I just kind of let him do what he wanted to, but... What does he have to bring back? He can bring back that. What was it, ill-timed explosion? Yep, alright, that's fine. Okay, this is pretty good. We can take a look into his hand. We might be able to dump our load right now. Because yeah, I think we were smart to wait for this counter spell. Yeah, 3 steps ahead. So it's either he counters our Teysa or he wipes our board. It looks like we might just like not care if he wipes our board. Or sorry, if he counters our Teysa. We got the Sanguine Soothsayer that's gonna kind of pop off here. I'm just gonna pop this guy's head right now. But if he has nothing else to do, then like we have board presence and he doesn't, so he could counter this. Alright, so he's gonna counter that, which is like a much lower priority than Teysa, and I think we're off to the races here. Swing in. And then we conjure, so this is like kind of the namesake, or the reason we built the deck is Sanguine Soothsayer. So when it attacks, you conjure a card named Sanguine Bond in the top 15 cards of your library, and then you pay 0 rather than pay its mana cost. And then you draw a card. And the card, if you don't know what it is whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. So it's just a free effect of that in the battlefield with no downside. Really strong. But we're 2-0 now. Hope you all enjoyed that first game. We're heading on over to the deck tech right now, and we're going to take a look at what makes this deck tick. So just a disclaimer, we did change the deck a few times throughout the stream, so it's not going to be exactly the same as the beginning or at the end, but it has all the same cards, just a little bit of tweaks here and there. So let's get into the deck. We have our namesake card. I guess it's not really a namesake, but this is what we wanted to build the deck around, which is Sanguine Soothsayer. And this card is absolutely busted. I don't know if it's absolutely busted. It's a really fun card, though. So when it attacks, you conjure a card named Sanguine Bond in the top 15 cards of your library at random. It perpetually gains. You may pay 0 rather than pay the spell's mana cost, and when this permanent enters, you draw a card. So this is also a 2/1 flying lifelink, which is pretty good. It's good for curbing our life loss against like things like mono red or mice, things like that. So it's nice to have, but the attack ability is absolutely busted, because if we can pull one of these Sanguine Bonds out, we are going to be able to play it for free. So it's discounted to 0 mana, and it acts as a cantrip. We get to draw a card on entering, so that's just really strong. We have a life gain shell built around it, so anytime we gain life, which is pretty much a bunch of times every turn, we're going to be dealing damage to them. And there's no other effects like this in Alchemy right now, so this is just super strong, and I think that it's pretty undervalued right now. The only thing is finding the Sanguine Bond. It's not very common. I did do a lot of deck testing before I made this, and the deck wasn't even finished by the end of that, but I did a lot of deck testing, and I found the Sanguine Bond a few times, but I will say it's very few and far between, so don't know if we're going to see it in this video, but we are going to see some attack triggers from the Sanguine Soothsayer, I promise that. And yeah, let's get into more of the cards. So we have a bat shell and a life gain shell. Um, and let's go over the bats real quick. So we have our Deep Cavern Bats, which is a nice removal spell, or hand removal spell. So it's kind of like this. It's a non-permanent discard. I can take a look at their hand and get something out of their hand. This card's pretty proven. It's in a lot of mid-range black or Golgari decks, things like that. It's really nice to have in the deck. Something we can recur with our Zoraline if we need to. If we need to take something out of their hand so they can't burn us or something like that. So it's also nice. It has a little bit of lifelink. Works well with the deck. Nice to have in the deck. And another new Bloomburrow Alchemy card is Chittering Skull Speaker. And this card works really well with life gain because as it enters, it intensifies by 1, and then you draw X cards and lose X life where it's X's intensity. And that's all the cards. All the cards intensify by 1 that are named Chittering Skull Speaker. So you play one of these, you draw a card, lose 1 life. You play 2 of them, you draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. You play 3 of them, it goes on and on. And we have some nice little blink effects with Getaway Glamour and some search effects with 3 Tree Battalion. Let's say we play our first Chittering Skull Speaker with 3 Tree Battalion. And we will be able to draw 3 cards and lose 3 life, and then just buff the intensity up of all the following squirrels we play. So that's really nice. I think it's a really good life gain shell because you're going to be losing a lot of life with this card, but you are going to be drawing a shitload of cards, so it is pretty good. Works really well with the life gain shell. We have our little bat token producer here. And at the beginning of our end step, if we gain life, each opponent loses a life. And at our end step, if we gain and lost life, we create a bat. We also get to pay 2 life to draw a card and 2 mana, with 1 being a black. So this is just a nice include for a bat deck or any Orzhov deck if you want to draw some cards, gain some life, lose some life, things like that. We don't have a reliable way to lose life, unfortunately. We kind of rely on the Chittering Skull Speaker a little bit. We might be interested in throwing in the that land that you pay 1 life and 3 mana to create a fish. Could be another reliable way to lose life for the Lunar Convocation, but otherwise we're just going to be using its last ability to pay 2 life and draw a card, which is probably better than that land's ability. But anyways, moving on. So we'll go back to the 1-drops here. Case of the Uneaten Feast, another way to gain life. We would like to have these in our deck. We don't solve it too often. We're not normally gaining tons and tons of life a turn. It's more 2, 3, or 4 a turn. But sometimes when you do solve it, it's nice to have that graveyard recursion just for a turn after. But it's mostly used for the life gain and the triggers on that. Getaway Glamour, my favorite uncommon card in all of Alchemy. Works really well against Heist. Works really, really well against Mono Red because you can blink something and destroy another creature. If they have 2 big prowessed up creatures in the same turn swinging in for lethal. It's a nice little combat trick. So if I have 1 card in hand, they think they might have the win with one of the creatures dealing damage. I can blink one of them and kill the other, and then I have basically free board until their guy comes back. So anyways, good card. Really good against Heist because we can exile one of the cards that they steal from us and bring it back to our battlefield. Alright, moving on. Gumdrop Poisoner. This is an if card in my deck. If this works, that's good, but a lot of times it doesn't really work too well. So we need consistent life gain before we play this. Otherwise, we're playing it on turn 5 with the food token it creates, and we're sacrificing that food token and using that life we gain from that to deal damage or to give other creatures -X until the end of the turn. So yeah, this is we want some solid life gain before we play this. It's a little bit of a setup card, and a lot of times you don't get to set up in this format. You just kind of need to grind out the early game until everyone's out of cards, and then you're playing with the advantages that you have. So I'm not really sure if this one really, really works 100% of the time, but it is a nice include. I like playing it. I think when it does get value, it's really strong, so I'm going to keep it in. Darkstar Banisher is a new card. It is from the Bloomburrow Alchemy set, and when it enters, you exile a non-land permanent with mana value 3 or less an opponent controls. And then when it leaves, the exiled card owner seeks a card that shares a card type with the exiled card. So this card actually works really, really, really well with against Heist, because I can exile a permanent that they steal from me, and then if they decide to kill my Darkstar Banisher to get a card drawn that's the same card type as that permanent, it will actually give the card to me because the owner seeks a card, not the controller. So it's a nice little tech there. It's also just really good against early aggro. You get a body on the board, you exile something, and then if they kill it, they still have to spend the mana to get their next creature out. I will say that it's really easy to kill, and it's really easy to get value off of it. If they wanted to kill something, they would kill this, and then they'd get immediate value almost because they draw a card and then they get to play something new. But I think it's pretty strong. It's something we can tutor up with our 3-Tree Battalion again as an instant speed answer to any attackers. So if they have like two swinging creatures, we can 3-Tree Battalion, look at the top 6 cards in my library, put a creature card of mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield, and then conjure a 1/1 duplicate. And that, with the Darkstar Banisher, we can get 2 of these and exile 2 attacking creatures, and maybe even block some like small like tokens or little weenies that are attacking as well. So it's a nice little combo to have. I think that I might need more of these in the deck. I think it's really strong, so I'm definitely looking to improve that as well. Zorling Cosmos Caller, just Bat Queen. I feel like, I don't know, just like really good. Whenever a bat you control attacks, you gain a life. It's a 3/3 vigilance for 3, and its main ability is when it enters your attack, you can pay Orzhov mana, gain 2 life, and when you do, return target on-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter. So basically, we want to be playing this on turn 5 or something, getting something back for free, or just playing it early, swinging in, getting damage, and then hopefully recurring something with its 2 mana recursion ability. Really good with the rest of our deck because we have a lot of small creatures. Good target for Chittering Skull Speaker because we can recur something that already had those intensity counters grow, and the intensity counters stay even after it dies. So we will be drawing a lot of cards with this. Porcine Portent, just the premier removal card for an Orzhov deck in Alchemy. 3 mana exile a creature, and then 4 mana you can play one of the boars from the spellbook. Normally we're going to be playing the first little pig because it's an exile, an artifact, or enchantment as a 2 mana ability, which we do have the colors for. So normally we're going to want to be playing that. So yeah, this is just a great card. I have 4 of these because I need them. 3-Tree Battalion. I already went over this. Strong card, synergizes my deck really well. Not much more to say. Teysa, the Ghost Council. This is a Orzhov bomb, basically. It's just like, it's kind of unbeatable. Unless they have instant speed, targeted removal. So when it enters, it creates a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying, and then it intensifies by 1. Spirits you control get +X/+0, where X is Teysa's intensity. So each turn, I'll go with the end step part. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile her, and then at the beginning of your next upkeep, you return to the battlefield, and it gains haste. So basically, when she enters, you're creating a token, and the token's going to be as strong as she is, and she's going to be stronger based on how many times she's entered. So turn 3 or 4, you'll have 3 or 4 tokens. They'll all be 4/1s, flyers, and they'll be doing massive damage. It's just like kind of a steamroll card. If you don't deal with her, like, you're eventually going to get bodied. There's a few Alchemy cards like that, and I think that she is probably one of the best ones. So nice include in any Orzhov deck. I include her here because she works really well with Case of the Uneaten Feast. I'll be gaining solid life every turn, creating tokens, and then hopefully winning the game. One of our last cards is Aclazotz, Bat God, really strong. Everyone knows about Aclazotz. When you attack, each opponent discards a card, and then you draw a card if they can't discard a card. Whenever land card is discarded, you create a 1/1 bat, and then it pretty much dodges all removal except for exile removal, because if it dies, it comes down tapped, and you can play it next turn if a player has 1 or fewer cards in hand. Virtue Persistence, another well-known card. Target creature gets -3/-3 from the end of turn, and then you gain 2 life. Nice early game removal. We can play it for 7 mana at the late game, and then it gives us free recursion every turn with its ability. So, anyways, mana value, land's pretty good. We might include the that new token land, but other than that, I think it's a pretty solid deck. let's get back into the games. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you think of there anything I can do with the deck in the future, because I definitely will not be finishing running the deck here. I think that there's a lot more tweaks we can make. But anyways, hope you enjoy, and I'll be seeing you in part 2 of our mid-game wrap-ups. So thank you. Bye-bye. Another Is It deck. Might be it might be just a dice deck. So I'm gonna play this on bat, and we'll see what this guy's got going on. Don't mind if he just kills the bat, to be honest. I just want to see what we're dealing with. He's gonna return it. Alright. It is Heist. Expectations, Magda, shove aside. Alright. So Magda plus Heist is what he's going for, it looks like. Got 2 Porcine Portents. So honestly, I'm not too upset to just play those. But he can't do. Why is he not have that on instant speed? No, I think he got auto tappered. Yeah, I think that was just a misplay in general. I'm gonna 3-tree Battalion here. I don't think the bats. All right. Well, he's got one of my cards. I might take a look at his hand again. I'm afraid he drew that card that counters and heists. I might just have to exile this shit. Do I have any bounces? I have 2 Getaway Glamours. I can deal with that. But for now, I'm just going to 3-tree Battalion and see what we draw. Alright. So we can do both of these, and I'll draw 3 cards. I can do both of these. I think I'm just going to draw 3 cards. Yes. He's thinking. I'm gonna have to discard a little bit, but glad we played that because we are so flooded. It's just good to slow our roll a little bit. All right, we have another one. I think we start with a Deep Cavern though. Unsummon into the Flood Maw. They're both instants. I'm just gonna get rid of the shove aside for now. And then play this guy. Swing in. We have a draw 3 here. Surprised he's not playing his stuff, to be honest. He's gonna play the Grenzo, and I'm just gonna kill it in response. Oh, he's gonna kill the Sanguine Soothsayer. Alright. That's fine. Lunar Convocation's really good. Yeah, I think we just play that. Play that. And then we wait for the Grenzo. Yeah, the Grenzo is just if we let him play stuff for free, then we're already on our way to losing, so we just have to hold up. Land? No land. We can pay 2 and draw 1 twice here if we want. Do we have any board wipes? We don't. Darkstar Banisher doesn't seem too bad. Zoraline. He has nothing he can get back. But he is presenting a threat in the Grenzo. But also, we can just Deep Cavern Bat it. Alright. Yeah. We'll Deep Cavern Bat it for now. Is that even... That's not permanent. That's the issue. Alright, we'll draw. Yeah. You. And then we'll draw 3. Do we draw 3? I feel like that might just be bad tech. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we get a Darkstar Banisher, which is really nice. But I think we just play this and we wait for his Grenzo. We're gonna get a bat at the end of the turn, which is nice. We'll gain a life, yeah. I think our engine's starting to turn on it just a tad. Play the Grenzo, I'll exile it, and then I can start exiling my creatures, and then I'll draw a card when he kills the Darkstar Banisher because they were my cards. So it says exile target on that permanent advantage of 3 or less. And when it leaves the battlefield, the card's owner seeks a card. So if I exile this guy, even though it's on his side, I will draw a card once that second ability triggers. Yep. Exile you. You don't get that free play. He's still going to grab a card from my library, though. I think I exiled the Zoraline. Yeah. Just a lot of value. Can't pay for its ability, though. Which is nice. No blocks. Alright. So let's take a look at his hand. A couple, or just once, I guess. Magda. Alright. Get rid of the Zoraline. And then, did I lose life? How did I lose life last time? I think it was with this guy. I want to get the Sanguine Soothsayer out here. Swing in. It's gonna kill the bat, looks like. Gonna exile the bat. Alright, so he wants his Magda back. Yep, he can play it. That's cool. Now this is where this card just gets nuts. We're drawing 4 here. We're losing 3 life though. But we'll get it back pretty fast. I can play this for 1 and kill his Rune Lurker bat. I think that's worth. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, it will be 2 though, because it entered the battlefield at gain a life. Maybe the Mogd is better. And then we swing in with the Flyers. We'll conjure a free Sanguine Bond. I knew he was going to kill that. I'm looking for Zoraline to recur some stuff. But yeah, on the end of his turn, we're going to play 3 Tree Battalion and try to blow him out. So he's thinking if he kills the Darkstar Banisher, he'll get a card, but fun fact is that I will get a card. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, I really don't think this deck has any super bad matchups. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that last game. We are into our next segment, which is the Alchemy Academy deck picker. I don't know what it's called yet still. Don't ask me. I'm still thinking about it. But here we go. I'm going to choose 3 decks for you to pick. And the next Alchemy deck I run, we're going to run that one. We're going to run the one that got the most votes. So if you see any of the decks I choose in the comments, write down which one you'd like to see, and whichever one gets the most love, I will be playing. So last video, I previewed this deck called Big Ping, which focuses around Orzhov Axonil and War Leader's Call. So when it enters, it'll deal damage equal to its power, which is going to be 5 with a War Leader's Call whenever an opponent is dealt non-combat damage. So this will deal 1 damage, this will increase to 5, and every time we play another creature, if this guy is still alive, I'll be doing 5 damage to the opponent's face. So that's what we did last time. The next video will be on Big Ping, so I'm excited to make that. I haven't streamed it yet. It will be streaming when this video drops, so if you get a chance to look at it, I'll be online when the video drops, and maybe we can play some games with it. But we're going to go over the next decks for the video after that and see which one you guys want me to play. So I have all these decks. We're going to go back to frogging around. This is option 1. And this is built around Leaf Leap Guide, which has perpetuality triggers of +1/+1 whenever another creature enters, and it also gives them +1/+1 whenever a creature enters. So we have a frog deck built around Mockingbird, Valley Mightcaller, a bunch of other small frogs, some hard-hitting questions type cards where we deal damage equal to power, and hopefully we can make huge frogs and deal tons of damage. Moving on, we have Sneaky Snake. So Sneaky Snake is our second option. And this card is another graveyard recursion graveyard recursion deck. So we have Push Pull, which is one of the best graveyard recursion mechanics because we can return 2 creatures with strong enters and attack triggers at the same time, and then swing for huge damage. And I think that we're going to be running this one regardless at some point because this is a really fun deck. But it centers around Coiling Rebirth. So Coiling Rebirth, we regift a card. We gift a card and we can return a creature from graveyard to the battlefield. We can also create a offspring token of that creature. So we can return a Rottenmouth Viper, and we'll get a 6/6 plus a 1/1, and they'll both have their ETB abilities, and all these other creatures are really good with that. So Perforated Crocodile strong, Vein Ripper strong, Trumpeting Carnosaur strong with the ATB abilities. So it's one of those decks we want to be playing a lot of non-legendaries to recur with this and create a bunch of value. So yeah, this is the second option. A lot of big turns with that deck. The third option for our deck pick is the Truth 2. So I had a deck called the Truth last rotation, and it was pretty fucking sick. And this is the second version of that deck. This one centers around Emperor Apadsec Intili the Fourth. And it has whenever another creature you control enters, that creature perpetually gains haste if its power is 4 or greater. If its toughness is 4 or greater, you gain 4 life. If its mana is 4 or greater, seek a creature card. So it's just a ramp deck, and we want to be ramping into some big creatures and triggering that ability along with Annie Joins Up, which will double that triggered ability and all the other triggered abilities of all the creatures that follow. And most of the creatures will be legendary, so hopefully we can get some big value off of this guy and the Annie Joins Up, and then other small little synergies like the Agris Cost with Annie Joins Up, which you probably haven't seen yet, but it is absolutely busted. I got to high rank, maybe 200 Mythic with that alone, and then I stopped and started playing different decks and dropped a little bit. But anyways, yeah, this is a really fun deck. I would love to see this one chosen as well. But anyways, let's go back to this. So our 3 choices are Sneaky Snake, the Truth 2, and where is it? Frogging Around. So I will commit the wild cards to building these decks if you guys give me some feedback and see which ones you like. So hopefully we get some good feedback. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll be seeing you at the wrap-up. MTG Thinker. We got ourselves a Thinker here. You go first. Start off with a Skull Speaker here. Want to draw into that 3rd land for the Zorline. Never mind, we got that 3rd land. It's pretty sweet. Alright. Hopeless Nightmare. So we have a discard deck. I think in that case, I think we might ditch the Porcine Portent it's like our best card in our deck almost, but this draws us cards. This can blink him to draw us cards. Yeah. This also is a removal too, so okay. Well, that's just a shame. Alright. I need to keep the card drop. Luckily we got a second one too. Land, please. Alright. Tapped land. Not great, but it'll do. Unfortunately, we're losing life too here. If he kills this, that's just like sweet. It's like no skin off my back, you know? I'd like to get the Aclazotz down though. That would be a huge buff right now because Novice Inspector. Are we playing a what is it, a Viper deck? Yeah, we're playing a Viper deck. Yeah, unfortunately we don't match up that great against the Viper, especially because we discarded both our removal spells. That might have been a huge oversight. He's all in on it. Yeah, I didn't think about it too much. That was maybe discarding the Zorlane was the best decision. I think I'll just lose 4 here. Yeah, we'll draw a couple. Alright, we'll draw a couple and then we'll take a look at his hand. Long goodbye and lands. Alright, so we're not completely out of this. I think that we just wait, we block, and then we take the 8 damage maybe. Or maybe we block and sacrifice one of these guys. Yep. Alright, that was a pretty good draw from him. Yeah. I think that might have been the play. I need to draw a kill spell. Yeah, huge mistake. I didn't even consider the bat or the Viper being a potential outcome here. We can give him this this long goodbye back. If he swings, I discard both. Or maybe I just discard one. So I discard you. Let this guy die. Lose 4. Block. No way. Alright. So what we're looking for is we're going to return the Skull Speaker. And we're going to take 3 damage. To be fine. We would have had something to do, but yeah, I don't I don't think it would have saved us. I saw this video about how the arena client will give you decks that aren't very like proven if your deck isn't belonging to an archetype. So if it looks like your deck's a new deck and it's not very good, like you don't have like a clear solid grasp of like what the deck's doing, sometimes it'll give you like worse opponents and vice versa. So I think a lot of times when I build new decks, it might be the case is like it gives me sometimes like a little bit more suspect opponents and things like that, but I think sometimes that's not the case, obviously. I think we played the shadowy backstreet here. Retreat Battalion's good. I think we just need removal against red, like I always say. Gain some life. We'll gumdrop poison or 2. I think we Darkstar Banisher whatever he plays. Does he have the nut draw though? Is this the 3rd nut draw in a row for the mono red? No, that's a no. We're lacking a lot of 1 mana removal in this format. I think the only thing that they have is like dead weight or something, and that's like -2/-2 sorcery speed. And they have the red one, the shove aside, but that doesn't seem like there's too much to do. Alright, we'll make a food. And I'm just gonna Darkstar Banisher this guy. I'll swing in first. Alright, if he does that, I'm gonna cut off the card draw. Glad we swung in. Alright, not on my watch is really good. I think it's good enough to just hold, to be honest. But we also need to draw our land, so I'm just gonna play this guy. Sweet. Alright. As long as he can't one-shot me, then we're good. Because we're gonna hold up this not on my watch for the rest of the game, and then I'm gonna just play Virtue Persistence on my next turn. Alright, so he can't one-shot me from here. That's a lot of damage. What is that? 8 damage. He kills the food as well. Alright. We can kill both without even holding up the knot of my watch. Alright, so we're gonna play the black. We virtued this guy. And then we gumdrop poison or the other one. We'll get some life gain out on the battlefield. And then we swing in for 2. We're at 12, sorry. I don't think there's any 3-mana combos that they can play to just kill us from 12. Yeah, especially not with that. Let's see what he has. Assuming removal. Oh. Yeah, let's just take that. If that's the case, I mean, we can let him double pump something, and when he draws a creature and then just not on my watch it, we're like pretty safe here. Manifold Mouse is fine. Alright. He's gonna see if he can kill us this turn. No blocks. Exile. Just do this and swing in. And then next turn he's dead. Or maybe the turn after. Yeah, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not enough, so I'm just gonna play this for now. We'll build a board, and then we'll kill him next turn. Is there a 2-spell combo that can one-shot me with mono red? I have no doubts that there is. Alright. I want to kind of prove this deck a little bit, because I have run really well with it before. Won a few tournaments and things like that with it, so I think that as long as we get like kind of better matchups and better draws, I think we'll be fine to keep running. Is it mono red again? Leonoik, that is a familiar name. I'm not sure where I know it from. Alright. Helping Hand. Alright, so I think we're looking at an interesting deck. I think I take the Cottontail Caretaker. If I give something Offspring, that's if he like gives something Offspring, it's just like a little annoying. Bat. And then we will play this. Draw a card, lose a life, but also gain some life. Sweet. I should have waited to play that land. That's something I definitely can improve on. Even Interrupter. I think he's holding the Interrupter. Realm Warden, alright. Luckily for us, we're not running too many things that are that bad. I think I just played Teysa. Does he have anything to blink? No, I'm just gonna run out the Teysa. He can exile the Werewolf Bodyguard, but if I get a kill spell, it's not too much of a problem. And I'll get some value right now. I think it'd be a little bit foolish to not wait and play this Werefox Bodyguard. He could play it and double spell it though with the Cottontail Caretaker. That's probably just a better option. No blocks. I definitely want to get this down first to clear this non-creature spell thing. Yeah, let's do that. You. Take 5. And then we'll play Aclazotz next turn. We'll swing in and then we'll play the stuff we want to play. He's gonna double spell this Werefox with the Teysa. This is a good draw. So we draw 3 with that. Sorry, we draw 2. I'm just gonna swing. I'm waiting for him to play the Werefox Bodyguard. Ooh, that's worse. Wait, that's worse. Yeah, that's definitely worse. I think I play this then. We draw some and then we'll get a bat from this. And then we will exile you. Because you're gaining them a lot of life. We don't want you returning for sure. We'll get some bats. Our things getting going. Our engine. He's just gonna hold. He has nothing to do. It was all flash speed, which means we can just chill out. I'm not blocking because he's just gonna return it with the helping hand. We'll just swing in with the flyers. Gonna double. Okay. And then we play this while he's not able to do anything about it. I'm feeling pretty good. I think this thing's just going to keep slowly draining him. He's going to double cast this on the Aclazotz and the Ruin Lurker bat probably. Alright. I think I just swing with the Aclazotz. He's gonna let me make him discard. Alright. I'm gonna play this in response. We get a Zoraline. But why didn't I get the Zoraline triggers? I didn't get the enters trigger, did I? Alright, so we have good blocks here. You can't return anything anymore, so I'm happy just to block whatever. You, and then I will return the Chittering Skull Speaker with the Zorleen and draw 3. Yeah, good game. Good game. So we're on over at untapped.gg, and we're going to check out our deck and see how it performed. So we started off pretty hot in the stream with the bat deck, but I think that we slowed down a bit. We got some pretty bad matchups, and it looks like we weren't as strong against mono red and mice as we had hoped. So we're looking to maybe do a little bit of a rebuild here with a little bit more focus on early game. But yeah, this is how the deck ran. We're playing in platinum right now, and everyone's going to be a high ranked player because this is the rank reset. We're starting off, but yeah, I think that we could definitely make some changes and improve the deck a lot. So not really too much to say. We're going to probably try to play some stronger decks moving forward. We will be playing Big Ping next video, as I mentioned earlier. So I don't know how strong that deck's going to be, but yeah, but at some point in the channel, we're going to have to make a decision whether we make strong decks or, decks that are more fun to watch and more interesting. So, let me know what you think. This is probably more on the interesting side, but I do see some potential if I can really really fine tune it. And I think that's part of the challenge with Alchemy is that you can probably make any deck strong enough as long as you counter the 2 or 3 decks that are pretty much dominating the meta and are always going to be the strongest. So, we'll see where we go with that. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. So, just take care and have a good one. Bye.